Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars and welcome to another contest entry. Today's contest entry is for Jeff over at 101 Bronson, who is celebrating reaching 200 subscribers. In actual fact, he's very close to 300 subscribers now, so huge congratulations to you. Now he's running a great contest, so if you are interested in checking out Jeff's channel over at 101 Bronson, he does some great content, unboxings, similar stuff to Eastwood for Life fan, that sort of thing. Really good stuff. I've been a subscriber for a while now and I do enjoy watching his content, so I shall put a link in the video description below. If you're interested, please head over there. If you like what you see, support the channel and subscribe, and you need to be a subscriber to enter the contest. So essentially the question Jeff wants answering really in regards to his contest entry is, what is your favourite guilty pleasure in regards to movies? And now that is a really good question. Now I did try and answer that. I can't remember, a couple of years ago I'm sure I did. I think it was a tag video as well. I did my top 10 favourite movie guilty pleasures. So if you want to have a look at that, you can always, I'll put a link in the description to that one below in the description as well if you want to check out that video. My top 10 guilty pleasures in regards to movies. But I've had a look through my collection and I've picked out some that I have in my collection that I would constitute what I think is a guilty pleasure. Some of them may well have been on that guilty pleasure list, some of them may be new, because I haven't rewatched that video, just to remind myself what my guilty pleasures were at that time. So I'll show you some that I considered, and I'm going to settle on one at the end. So the first guilty pleasures for me are the National Treasure films, the Nicolas Cage films. They were very successful at the box office, but not many people really have an awful lot of time for these movies. I just think they're really fun adventure films, action adventure films. And I really enjoy them, but not many people talk about the National Treasure movies, so they're a bit of a guilty pleasure for me. And sticking with the Nicolas Cage theme, one of his ultimate guilty pleasures I think is Conair. I mean, this thing is just like an advertisement for testosterone, isn't it? I mean, it's way over the top, very corny. But out of his action films that he did, you know, with his The Rock, Face Off, this, and you know the other ones that he's done as well, this is probably my favourite. It's like the purest action film. It's just mental, but I do like it. It's a real guilty pleasure. The dialogue in it is just brilliant. I love it. Another classic couple of Burt Reynolds guilty pleasures here now, and the first one is Smoky and the Bandit. I love the Smoky and the Bandit films, certainly the first two. Brilliant dialogue. Burt Reynolds is very funny, but he can't hold a candle to Jackie Gleason, unfortunately, as the sheriff, with some of the best lines in movie history that still make me laugh out loud now. Very good film, very funny film. And again, not a film that many people take seriously, and nor should you really, but it's a guilty pleasure for me, that one. The next Burt Reynolds film, one of the most star-studded films of all times. Can you guess what it is? Cannonball Run. Great film. Such a big film of my childhood, this. I used to watch it on TV all the time around bank holidays and things like that. Just a super fun film. Very funny. I love the outtakes at the end. Undeniably funny. Again, not to be taken seriously. And definitely a real guilty pleasure for me, the Cannonball Run. Another one now, maybe a bit of a controversial one for some out there. A film that got absolutely slated upon release. Baywatch. I actually don't mind the film. I think it's very watchable. I think Dwayne Johnson and Zac Efron had great chemistry on screen. It was fun. It was energetic. It made me laugh. Didn't mind it at all. I don't think it was anywhere near as bad as some of the reviews made out. Guilty pleasure for me. Another guilty pleasure. Another film that was completely destroyed by critics when it was released. and I was crying, laughing watching this the first time I watched it, and that is Grimsby, the Sacha Baron Cohen film. Really, really lowbrow humour, really crude humour, but I just found it really, really funny. It touched my funny bone, this one, so that's a guilty pleasure. But for me, my ultimate guilty pleasure are two films from an actor who these days you probably wouldn't associate with these type of films, but for me they're arguably right up there with his best and most entertaining films. And when these films came out, they were lambasted by the critics, but the audience loved them. Can you guess what they are? They are the Every Which Way But Loose films. The first one, Every Which Way But Loose, and the second one, Any Which Way You Can. They're both entertaining in their own right. The second one is probably one of the best on-screen fight scenes of all time. Very, very funny. Just a really fun watch. And if you ask most people on the street, name your favourite Clint Eastwood film, they'll all come up with $1 Million Babies and Unforgiven and the dollar films, spaghetti western films and Heartbreak Ridge and Dirty Harry, and very few will say, "Oh, I love Every Which Way But Loose." But when you remind them of these movies, they go, "Oh yeah, that was a fun film. They were funny films." So that's why this is my ultimate guilty pleasure. It's not a film most people would think of immediately with Clint Eastwood, but they're genuinely very, very fun and entertaining films. So that's my ultimate guilty pleasure movies, these two films. So I know you mentioned it in yours as well, I think, Jeff, that you're a big fan of the Every Which Way But Loose films, and I am too. I mean, Clint is just a legend, my favourite actor of all time, Hollywood icon. So yeah, congratulations once again on passing 200 subscribers. Like I say, you're almost at 300 now. And your channel will continue to grow, I am sure. I am enjoying watching your content. So thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to head over to 101 Bronson and show your support and subscribe. And of course, I will be back with plenty more content on Screen Stars very, very soon.